Justice Department late today asked for a federal court order to stop the Washington Post.
The story exposed the truth about the Vietnam War and transformed a newspaper and its publisher, Katharine Graham, into icons of journalism.
We are extremely gratified.
Katharine Graham, why is she somebody that should be celebrated today?
For being such a pioneer of her time, I think.
And we should think hard about it, all of us.
The fact that I'm here today is because she was there then.
The new movie, The Post, sheds a light on the legendary first female publisher of a major newspaper. Meryl Streep plays Katharine Graham.
Because you know the position that would put me in.
Women were still a little bit invisible at that point in time, and the focus of history came to rest on this particular woman's shoulders.
It tells the story of the Washington Post going up against the power of President Richard Nixon. Katharine Graham made the decision to publish classified government documents that expose the truth about the United States' involvement in the Vietnam War, known as the Pentagon Papers.
It's easy now to see that that decision she made to publish was the right call. At the time, it wasn't so obvious. She was a woman making this decision in very much a man's world. I think it took incredible bravery on her part.
Every new employee of the Washington Post gets a copy of her autobiography.
That's awesome.
So that they really understand that they are part of a great tradition.
From the moment you walk into the doors at the Washington Post, it's clear the impact Katharine Graham's made.
That's the quintessential Mrs. Graham moment. She's sitting on a handkerchief.
Graham made the decision to take over the family-owned business in 1963. Why was that such a big deal?
1963 America, women didn't run anything. And she decided that the family business was so important that she was going to save the family business. There's a very famous photograph, and it's the leading publishers in America. And it's about 65 white guys in their suits and her. People thought that she didn't have the smarts, the fortitude to run a major news organization. The fact of the matter is she questioned whether she had the smarts or the fortitude to run a major news organization, but she did it.
Carrie Coon portrays one of the few other women in the newsroom, Meg Greenfield, a female editor at the Washington Post.
Huh. Are these in order?
What was it like being a female in the newsroom in 1971?
I was sort of like being a female in any room in 2017. Dominated by men, trying to be one of the boys.
Do you have the papers?
Not yet.
The Pentagon Papers led to a landmark Supreme Court case that ruled the government couldn't censor or punish the press for its reporting.
If you think about a good number of the stories that the New York Times and the Washington Post have published in the past year, they would not have been able to be published without the precedent established in the Pentagon Papers case.
At its heart, the Post is about the importance of freedom of the press and a woman finding the power of her voice.
So what do you think Mrs. Graham would say about where the Washington Post is today in this landscape?
I think she'd be thrilled. I think she would just be giddy and excited.
Cassie Hudson, Channel 1 News.